Mike Bohn joined now by the UFC strawweight champion of the world, Zhang Weili, just a few days away from her UFC 312 title defense versus Tatiana Suarez. Zhang, how are you enjoying Australia so far?
Yeah, I'm so happy. Fight week. I just enjoy the fight week.
Yeah, and this is a big fight. A lot of people have been asking you about fighting Tatiana for years now, I feel like. Did you know this was a matchup that was eventually going to happen?
你知道这个比赛，你跟塔天比赛，就是可能就是早晚会发生。Yeah, 我知道，就是我跟塔蒂安的比赛早晚肯定会发生的，因为他的排名也很高，然后他的这个战绩也非常好，对，所以我相信我们俩肯定会遇到。I believe that I'll fight Tatiana sooner or later because she have a great track record and she's also very high in the rank.
When did they come to you with this fight? Because I remember, I think it was around November where someone asked Dana White about you, and he's like, "We had a great meeting with Wally. We have something planned for her," but they didn't announce anything. And then Tatiana was supposed to fight Verna in December. They pulled her from this fight. This got announced. So, like, what was the whole sequence of events in terms of the timing of this fight?
我11月的时候，白大拿说给你有一些未来的安排，然后12月塔天南和对手那个比赛就取消了。这个大概是什么一个？就是你什么时候知道你要跟塔天南比赛？就是就是我也挺突然就接到了这个消息，对，然后对，其实最早的安排也不是这样的，但是突然接到这个消息，我也挺开心的。Okay, yeah, I think I got this message around late November. I think it's also very sudden for me because it wasn't original plan for me. Tatiana wasn't original opponent I was thinking about fighting, but I'm very happy to fight her.
Yeah, of course. It's a big fight. So, do you feel like you got the proper type of training camp that you're used to for title defense here, given all that timing?
说你觉得你的这次训练怎么样？这次训练，this camp is so good. Grappling, striking, BJJ, everything is so good. Yeah.
Where did you spend most of your time training? Because I know you've bounced around to different places, kind of depending on where your fight is before.
这次你在哪训练的？他说知道你以前每次都会换
Yeah,
地儿。
yeah. This camp is Phuket, Bangtao Gym. Yeah. Uh, 3 months in Phuket. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the photos that the UFC posted of you the other day. You look to be in incredible shape. Would you say this is like the most fit you've been?
Most what?
UFC shared some photos of her like showing off the abs and stuff like that. Is this the best shape she's ever been in for a fight?
Yeah，他说上次那个 UFC 给你发照片说你现在腹肌特别好，然后说你觉得你这次是在一个最好的状态嘛，历史上，对，我什么时候发的那个照片啊？就是2周前吧。2周前也，我觉得我的身体状态啊，各方面都很好。对。I think I'm in a great shape right now. I think my mental and health are very good.
And what's just of your assessment of Tatiana after going through a training camp for her? She's obviously undefeated. A lot of people have been saying she's going to be a UFC champion since she won the Ultimate Fighter. So, what have you thought of her after putting in a full training camp now?
对你现在已经完成了你的这个整个的训练的周期，你觉得你对于塔天娜的一个这个感觉是什么样的？我对塔迪安的感觉一个评价，我觉得塔迪安娜她的摔柔也非常非常好，然后呢，我也就是挺开心，我们可以在澳大利亚然后进行一场非常精彩的比赛。对。I think Tatiana is a very good grappling and wrestling. I'm very happy that I could fight with her in Australia to bring a good match to the audience.
Yeah. Do you think she's the strongest grappler you fought? Because you've obviously faced Carla Esparza and some of the best grapplers in the history of this division. Do you think she's a level up from then, or does she not do anything you haven't seen before?
你觉得那个塔天呢会是你目前对阵过的最好的那个摔跤手吗？因为之前 你也打过卡拉，然后或者还是你觉得塔天的和其他的之前的对手也没什么区别？
我觉得塔提亚娜肯定她的这个摔跤柔术应该是我所有对手里面最好的。
I think Tatiana is the best wrestler and grappler, like for all the opponent I've faced.
但是我觉得所有的技术都有破解的方式。
But I think all the tactics or all the Tatiana's strengths, we have already all those strengths have a way to solve it, have a way to handle it.
Yeah, is that kind of one of the big questions you want answered in this fight? Like she's undefeated, she hasn't faced much adversity. Are you curious to know how she responds when she's put in a bad spot in a fight?
Mm. Can you ask that question again? Sorry.
She's undefeated. She hasn't faced too many moments of adversity. Is that something you're curious to find out, like how she responds in a fight to a bad spot?
好的。他说他觉得塔天娜之前也没有面对过太多困难嘛，比赛。你觉得你会很好奇，就是他在困境中会是一个什么样的反应？
我觉得他其实
你
他在
会好奇吗？
我觉得
嗯
我觉得他肯定非常坚韧，因为我知道他在生活当中遇到了非常多的困难。其实比赛跟生活是一样的，
嗯
所以我觉得他肯定是一个非常坚韧的。对，
嗯。I think I'm not so curious. I think Tatiana is a fighter who is very have faith in herself and very persistent fighter. I know she have faced many adversities in the in in her life. So I think I'm sure she's very persistent.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess what do you think a win here over her like does for your legacy, right? Like you've had the title defenses in the first reign, but it seems like this second title reign for you is your best form. So, what do you think this does kind of for your legacy to beat someone like Tatiana now?
觉得这次和泰天的对战对你的一个经历，对你这个一个在 UFC 的这个经历会是一个什么样的一个经历？然后因为这是你第二次成为冠军，
对，
就专注摔跤啊。
我觉得我更专注提高我的地面和摔柔，对，然后会让我自己有变得更好。
I think I because because when I know I will be facing Tatiana for this fight, I am more focused on my wrestling and grappling. I think this fight or this victory means that my I just proved myself in my wrestling and grappling. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. You are like the betting odds for this fight are much closer than most of your fights, which means obviously some people believe she's going to win. Do you take motivation from the fact that, some people might think this might be a closer fight and proving people wrong here?
他觉得就是说这次就是你的这个就是赔率啊，就是每次你的赔率都是非常占优势的，但这次是非常接近的。你觉得你对这个事儿怎么？你觉得你要证明其他人是错误的吗？就是关于这个赔率。
没有，我觉得就是说，因为我觉得因为塔利亚娜还挺强的，对，她也没有输过，然后大家肯定会觉得这是一场非常接近的比赛。
I think I don't feel like I need to prove people wrong. I think because Tatiana is a good fighter and I understand why people think it's a close fight.
Yeah.
And just last thing, what do you want 2025 to look like for your career? I know in the past you've talked about maybe changing divisions, wanting to fight more often. You're fighting in February now, so maybe you could even fight 3 times this year. What are your goals for 2025 beyond this fight? And I know you are focused on Tatiana.
他说他虽然知道你现在集中注意力在这个打他天的，但是你2025年的目标是什么？现在是2月份，你没准还能再打，今年还能再打2场比赛。
对，
可能。
对，可以的。然后就一切皆有可能，看一下 UFC 的一些计划和安排。
I think everything is possible. It's possible that I'll do 2 more fights this year. So I think it's all depending on UFC's arrangement.
Yeah. Do you think the winner of Verna Jandiroba and Yan Xiaonan, who fight, I think, in April, is that going to be the next most worthy title contender?
你觉得那个严小南和那个 Diroba 他们俩的胜者会成为这个挑战者冠军的挑战者？
我觉得我其实我也不知道，对，我也不知道他们就是怎么说呢，就是说 UFC 的计划，因为现在也有非常非常多的新人出现，然后看 UFC 的安排吧，UFC 肯定也会有他的计划，对。
Yeah, I think it really depends on what Dana White think. What's the next plan for a strawweight? Because I don't know if they will be the next in line.
For sure. Makes sense. We'll see how the fight plays out. Okay, Zhang, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the interview. Thank you for translating, and I hope you guys are having fun out there in Australia. We can't wait for the fight.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.